Retro Stu here as always, and today I'm going to talk about the pickups that I did at Mr.zombie. Mr.zombie is a store in Lisbon, Portugal, in Benfica specifically. That's a zone of Lisbon, very known, that you can get excellent games. This store is Mr.zombie, as I just said, and the logo is here in the corner of the screen. Mr.zombie is an excellent store where you can get cool games and great quality and a nice price. The other day I went there, and as always, I always get some cool games to add to my collection. And I got 3 games specifically, 2 Mega Drive games and 1 Super Nintendo game. And those are the games I'm going to show. In the end, I'm going to do an announcement that leaves me very happy and very excited and proud. But first, let's get down to the games. First game I got was a game that I was looking for, heard about, didn't know anything about it specifically, but heard about it and I thought it would be cool to add to my collection, and it's a great game. It's exactly like the same game in the series, Tasmania, and it is Escape from Mars. That's the name of the game. It's a great game. It's just like the first game when it comes to the mechanics. In my opinion, it looks a little bit better and it has more quality to it. Of course, it's the second game in the Taz genre on the Mega Drive, and it's not really that bad. It's a cool game, so I recommend it. So what else can you say about this game? It's fun, it's great, and if you get an opportunity to get it cheap like I did at Mr.zombie, please my friends, grab it. It's a cool game. And of course it came with the manual in great shape. Next game that I got is a game that's not really that good, but it was so cheap that I said, okay, let's get it. And I had to try it myself. That's always something I do. I like to try games myself. I like to collect the most as I can. It came with both manuals. I'll show the manuals in a while. And it is Dini's Soccer. Dino Dini's Soccer. That's it. And it's not a great soccer game. There's 2 million soccer games on the Mega Drive, on the Super Nintendo, on the Nintendo, and even some on the Master System. As always, there's always lots of soccer games. But this one is the case where it's really not that good. It's not that good of a game, but hey, it was cheap. It's an add to the collection. It is experience that I had with the game. I had to try it out to know, and not really not that good. Of course, the price was excellent, so why not? And both manuals, as you can see, in pretty good shape, of course. Now, the last game that I got there was a Super Nintendo game, USA NTSC, of course, and it was in the box, and it was cheap, and it was complete. And it's a game that I already have on the NES, on the Master System, and I grabbed at the opportunity to have it on the Super Nintendo to see if it was different or better, and we'll talk about that in a second. Let's show the game. The game was Foreman's KO. I have it on the NES, I have it on the Master System, now I have it on the Super Nintendo. And you can see this was a rental case game, not the box probably, but this cart was, because it says "Be kind, please rewind," and that was something that happened a lot at video stores back in the day. Sometimes they put this on the carts. Some dumbass did that, but hey, it's still gonna stay there because that's funny. It's part of its history. But Foreman KO. I'm gonna show first the game, how it came and everything that came with it. Then I'll talk about my opinion about Foreman. It has a manual. It doesn't have the cover of the manual, but it has a little bit of story on how to play the game. Pretty cool. It has some publicity about Acclaim, because this game is made by Acclaim. A little publicity you can get. Cool. Another thing you can get: warranty, registration, whatever, free, blah blah blah. Those are those things that came back in the day. It even comes with a consumer information blocket that came with the game. It's really complete. I can say that. And it came with something that's pretty cool. It came with a poster of Foreman KO boxing. And that's excellent, from Acclaim. That's excellent to add to my collection and probably in the future put on my wall. And it has some games that came out from Acclaim for the Super Nintendo. That's cool too. And now let's get down to my opinion on Foreman KO. Well, Foreman KO, just put this on white. Foreman KO. Oh, and the box is in excellent shape too, as you can see. Pretty cool. Still has the original price sticker. Not going to take that off. Why not? Foreman KO is a lot like on the Master System. On the Master System, it's a copy of Rocky and Heavyweight Champ. Exactly the same game, different sprites. On the NES, they exactly copied the mechanics of Punch Out. And to be suspecting as I was about the game, I thought, well, they probably copied the mechanics of Super Punch Out or make it a little bit more cartoonish, a little bit more fun. Of course, the NES version is a little bit cartoonish itself, but they're going to make it a little bit more fun, a little bit more interactive and more goofy. But no, what they did was they made it exactly like George Foreman on the NES. The only big difference was they ended up putting a little bit more sprites, a little bit more color. Of course, it's a 16-bit console, it's a little more powerful, and they ended up making a version of George Foreman a little bit more pristine. But it's still a cool game, it's still playable, and I played a little bit and I liked it. Of course, it's nothing new, but it's cool, and it's a good add to my collection. George Foreman KO, not good, not bad, so-so. Now, down to what I was saying before. I am very proud to announce, and there's not even a poster yet, but this year, Whent Games Festival 2019 is going to happen again in Lorient, as always. And my friend João Figueiredo is the organizer, and proudly I accepted the part of helping him to organize and direct retro gaming. If you're in Portugal, or if you're in Portugal on vacation on this time, on this weekend, 13 and 14 of April, my friends, if you're a retro game lover, you have to come to Whent Games Festival in Lorient. And more videos closer to the event, I'll talk a little bit more in detail. I'll show maps, I'll show the poster, everything. But now I'm just going to talk about a little bit high. No big details about it, just a little bit over the top. Just talk about it because I'm really happy about it, and of course I just knew about that this week, and we're already contacting people to sell. And if you really want to find retro games in Portugal, this is the place to come. If you want to see real retro gaming, this is the biggest event in Portugal, because it's not one or two guys selling retro games in a corner, one or two stores, and 2,000 meters of 10 games showing off. Nothing against that new gen stuff, but no, this is the real retro game thing. And if, my friends, you're in Portugal on the 13th and 14th of April, or if you're in Portugal living and you have nothing to do in that weekend, my friends, I highly recommend it. And even if you have something to do in that weekend, you should come, because last year was amazing. I got a lot of stuff from my collection, and I was there with a booth. I ended up selling a lot of repeat stuff that I got along the year, and it was great. It was fun. I met lots of new friends I really knew about, of course, through YouTube and Facebook, and I met them personally. So I really highly recommend coming to Whent Games Festival 2019, and even Mr.zombie will be at Whent Games Festival 2019, selling excellent games at an excellent price as always. So, my friends, nothing else to say. João Figueiredo from Whent Games. Thank you very much for the invitation to be part of this, because I am from Lorient, and I am very proud and happy to be part, not only as a seller and as a person involved, but as an organizer. That's excellent. And Mr.zombie, as always, thank you, my friend João. João, two Joãos in this video for the excellent prices and the game. So, my friends, nothing else to say.